Yeah. So, and there are people trying to figure out, how can I do what it is I want to do now? And is what it is I think I want to do now what it is I'm supposed to do now? Two different things. And people sometimes want it now when there has to be typically a journey in between.
Yeah.
And a lot of people aren't committed to the journey.
Yeah.
Take, for instance, there may be people right now who are making, I don't know, $75,000 a year or less, whatever. And they would say, man, or they may pray to God, God, if I could just pay off my bills, I would be, or God, if I could just get a raise, I would do. If someone came to them and said, I would offer you $200,000, would you take the job? Some may say yes, because it's $200,000. If I were to offer you $200,000, but you had to do this, you had to go down this type of journey, would you take the $200,000? I believe that there are people who would jump off. They just prayed to God for that pay raise. He provided them an opportunity to do that, but they didn't want to take the journey, meaning they didn't want to put in the hard work. They didn't want to not have or to cut back or whatever. They just didn't want to do that, but they want the end result. I think that's what we're finding right now, where there's a lot of people who are looking at all these folks on social media and saying, I want that, I want this, I want that, but they're not willing to put in the work. And there's a statement that someone told me. They said the process will always win. The process will always win. It's kind of like betting on the house. They will always win. So either you go through the process now or you go through it later. So someone who says, I want to be an instant millionaire, and let's just say they do something really well and they hit it rich, they become a millionaire. Now they don't know how to manage the millions, or they don't know what to do. Or someone whose job or whose business, because they put it out there and they got a picture with some famous person, they got the hug of death, where someone came in and said, yeah, I like this guy. And now everybody's buying their products, and now they can't handle all of that mass growth. They just got what they wanted, but they don't know how to.
This relates to what you said earlier about when you get to the NFL, well, there are a lot of other goals that come after that, right? And if you don't honor process and getting to the goal, once you get to the goal, there's no end point there. It only continues. I mean, we only get older,
because
and there's only more work to do. And I don't mean this negatively. I'm just saying there are more things that need to be done.
Absolutely.
And they need to be handled with the right sort of care.
Absolutely. So while you were setting your goals as far as wanting to become a tennis player and to continue playing tennis, and deep within, your goal is to be a speaker, and I'm asking, who needs that information? Because if you focus on the people that need that information, then you're willing to go through all of this, the interviewing, the speaking to other people, the reaching out, the making the tough phone calls. You're willing to do all those different things in order to give to those people what it is they need.
Yeah.
And if you just focus on that, your life all the things that you want will come. Mm-hmm. So that's what I do at Clean Slate. That's what I do within my personal life. I focus on the people and what results they want.
Yeah. It was a winding journey for me too. I mean, I took acting school for a while.
Yeah.
And then I dropped that once I realized that I wanted to be a speaker. But from acting school, I learned a lot about human interactions, how to deliver lines, how to present things, which helps as a speaker, how to develop emotion, which is something I'm working on still.
Yeah. It's part of the process, though.
And then once I dropped that and I started doing speaking, I joined Toastmasters, which is where I met you. And tennis has been the constant through the whole thing. So I like what you're saying about process.
Yeah.
And the content is like, I spent the same effort on acting school that I do on Toastmasters, that I do on stuff like this. And so I guess, process with everything to get the most out of it.
Yeah. So this is this is video 2. I want to check you back at video 17. What's that going to look like?
Yeah.
Yeah. We may think that this is really good. Oh yeah, we did our best. We got the right lighting. We got the right camera angles. Check you back at video 17 when you have reviewed and learned from every other video.
And gotten feedback.